Hello, and welcome to my first video series, this new adventure that I'm starting, video blogging I think they call it, or vlogging in some languages. Anyway, my name is Ganjiki. I thank you for joining me here today. I'm releasing a series of videos, my first project, a series of videos called Dreams of a Nation. What I'm going to be talking about in this series of videos is basically the preamble of the Constitution of Papua New Guinea. Here's why I'm doing this. I think that the preamble of the Constitution contains the basic principles, the basic foundations of our nation. It contains the vision, the core values, and so it's important for us as a nation, as a people, to understand what the preamble is saying. I think it's been lost. It's a tragedy that the preamble has not been given the prominence that it deserves and we need it to have. So over time, since day one, we have not made the preamble part of our lives, part of our philosophy of life. The preamble is supposed to guide both national policy and everyday life. But because it is not part of our mindset, part of our thought pattern, it hasn't played that role and that function to the extent that we would appreciate. But nevertheless, it's not too late now to revisit this important document. What I think is the most important document under the Bible for Papua New Guinea. It's the most inspiring, most profound piece of literature you would read if you're trying to be inspired about Papua New Guinea and learn its basic ideals. So in this video series, I'll be covering that preamble in order to raise the conversation, raise the awareness, get people to start talking about the place of the preamble in our everyday life. Try to apply it. Where do we apply it? How do we apply it? If we are national leaders, how are we supposed to use it to inform our policy decisions? If we are everyday citizens, how are we supposed to use it to live our everyday lives? I believe that because the preamble contains the visions of our nation, the vision of our nation, it's important that we appreciate it in order to measure our progress. How do we know that we're getting to the place we're supposed to be getting to? How do we know that? How do we measure development? What is development? And so this information has to be embedded in our hearts and our minds so that we know what to do about progress and about development. I think that it's high time the preamble returns to the educational system. I'd like to quote Robert Dole, a former U.S. Senator. He said this about the U.S. preamble, the Declaration of Independence. He said, and I quote, "If the art of memorization ever returns to our educational system, I recommend that every American student learn by heart the preamble of the United States Constitution. Its 52 words encapsulate all that our government has accomplished over the last 200 years and hopes to accomplish in future." Unquote. I would adopt these words and adapt them for Papua New Guinea, although we don't have just 52 words in our preamble. We have 2,086 words to be exact. And so memorization will be difficult, but not impossible. In any case, the point is our students, you and I, we have to return to an understanding of the basic principles of our nation, and they're found in the preamble. So the preamble has to become part of the education system, that we drive the understanding into our hearts and our mindsets. And not just for students, ordinary citizens are supposed to come to this understanding as well. So this is part of the reason I'm doing this. We have to start talking about it and restore the discussion about the place of the preamble in our education system and in our philosophy of life. I I illustrate it like this. If you open the mindsets of individual Papua New Guineans and you pick out components in our minds that are supposed to inform us and give us our whole philosophy of life, there's this vital component that's missing, this compartment in our mindset that's supposed to contain the basic principles of our nation. That's missing, and it's a very important part, too important to be missing, because it's supposed to make us united and take us together to a certain place. Now in the next few videos, I think 7 videos, depending on how long or short some of them are, I try not to make them more than 20 minutes. But I pick out 5 headings from the preamble. And they are: 1, the source of our nationhood, the essence of our statehood, the source of the power, the source of the laws. So that's number 1, the first heading. Number 2, the national values. What did we aspire to hold dear to ourselves as a nation? And what does the preamble say about them? Number 3, of course, the national goals. This is the vision statement for Papua New Guinea. So I'll cover that a bit. Number 4, the fundamental rights. All right. Number 5, the basic social obligations. Now please note, I don't cover the fundamental rights, number 4, because I think, to be honest, I think the human rights, fundamental rights, are over exaggerated. I think we've preached ourselves too much about rights, and we've become a world that's so selfish and so give me kind of attitude everywhere. We just want to set our rights, protect our rights, enforce our rights, promote our rights. Now don't get me wrong, as a lawyer, this is my job. I am supposed to protect rights when it is violated. But in terms of social advocacy, I think there's a bigger picture that's missing in the discussion of how our human interaction. So I skip over that and go straight into basic social obligations. But in place of that, I have a video that I talk about the particular controversy that arises from time to time in our country. And that controversy is this tag that we've placed or adopted: Papua New Guinea is a Christian country. So to the extent that we are a Christian nation, or we proclaim to be, what does the preamble say about it? Right? And in light of the preamble saying something about it, how do we navigate or deal with the freedom of religion, by which we allow a lot of other religions in our nation? And then there's this other criticism that comes up from time to time, that we're not a nation that prominently practices Christianity or the Christian principles. So we'll discuss that. Some of you know, a lot of you know, I subscribe to Christian principles, so I don't promise to be completely impartial about this issue, but we will discuss this in light of the words in the preamble of the Constitution. So I thank you for sticking with me throughout this short video and for watching to the end. I look forward to you subscribing to the channel and getting involved in the conversation, and I look forward to receiving your feedback. So thank you very much. Take care.